we tried the summer program here because I had a sense it might work well for our daughter, and she just really loved it. She just really loved the teacher. She loved the arts. She loved everything about it. And now she says, I would never go back to homeschooling. I'd never go back to public school. She tried that for a little bit too. And she's like, this is so much better. And she says what she likes about it, I think, is she really loves her teacher, and because she has to stay with the same teacher, there's not a lot of anxiety about what teacher you're going to get every year.
The children are in a class with the same teacher for 8 years. And this teacher gets to know these kids almost as well as the parents do. But when I was reading over it,
I've been with my class now for 5 years, and I think that there are a lot of benefits to that. Academic benefits are pretty obvious. I really can see the whole. I can see that it's a long-term experience. So there aren't as many possibilities for holes to happen or things to fall through the cracks for children because I've been with them for so long and I'm responsible for all of it. So there's no lag from one grade to the next. I know exactly where every student is in every area. But I think even more importantly than that, just beyond the academic stuff, is the real social component to it. That we're helping these children not just learn, but really develop as people. So I've seen their struggles through all these years, getting along with each other, and so I can really craft my classes and lessons to help them really develop as people, not just their intellect.
The students are exposed not just to math, not just to writing, not just to art, not just to music. They're exposed to all of them in an equal measure.
It's more, when does that really make sense to them? When is it relevant to them? When is it exciting and engaging to them? And it's always easy to tell as a teacher when it's exciting to the children, because they start to sit forward and they start to really pay attention. So we're really looking for as many of those moments as we can as teachers.
They're exposed to indoor play and outdoor play. They're exposed to math, they're exposed to writing, they're exposed to art, music. But they get each of those every day. And I think it helps them to frame the knowledge they're learning in one discipline, in one area, into other areas. Someone once said, and I fully appreciate it, that we teach art in Waldorf not to create artists any more than we teach math to create mathematicians. We teach it so that it's engaging both the creative and the analytical side of the mind simultaneously. And it's really teaching children how to teach themselves how to think. So it's creating someone who loves learning, someone who loves the process of developing through time. And that's much better than a siloed approach to knowledge of, here is our math, now we will close the math book, and now we will open our art book, and we will do that for 2 minutes, then we will close that and do something else. So it's a much more integrative, a much more holistic approach. It's about the process. It's not about, as you will, the outcome, even though the outcomes speak for themselves.
What they learn here is they really learn to be actively involved in the learning process. So throughout math and science and all of the curriculum, we're constantly asking them why, to really be looking behind what's going on. And I've seen this sometimes when presenters come in to teach my class or to give a presentation, that after they give it, they will ask the class if there are any questions. And they'll be surprised to see that almost every hand goes up. And oftentimes, presenters have to tell the students, okay, we simply don't have any more time for questions, because we have fostered that in them, this feeling that questioning is what they need to be doing all the time.
Children are engaged in their learning process in a way that appeals to their imagination, to their bodies, to their hearts and minds. They act things out that they're learning. They are tossing beanbags back and forth, as they say, their times tables, and they're just moving through their day all day long.
I always like how when you walk in the door, there's the artwork that the students do, and it's displayed, and it tells you who did this, what grade, and something about the work. And one day I came in, and they didn't have the children's work displayed up by the door. Instead, what they had were these really beautiful, remarkable charcoal drawings that were of Leonardo da Vinci's work. And they were beautiful. And I thought to myself, wow, these are really nice, these are remarkable, but I wonder why they didn't put the kids' work up. This is what they always do, they always put the kids' work up. And then I took another look, and it said, these were done by the 7th grade class. And I thought, wow, that is absolutely amazing, because there it was, all together there, a study in art, a study in science, a study in history, and I could not believe it. And that was the point at which I was hooked, and I knew I had to bring my little boy here to go to school.
We send lots of kids who are above grade level when they go into high school and who become valedictorians, and that is their path. But one of the things that's so cool about the school is that there's a lot of kids who are not so academically minded, and that's just not going to be their interests, and they find ways to be successful too. And because kids have different ways of being successful in the school, there's just much more acceptance of different kinds of intelligences and different kinds of ways of being in the world. And I think that that's what's really valuable about the school.
You never want anyone to say about you that you do good work for a student. You simply want someone to say that you do good work. And when I saw those charcoal drawings up on the wall, I said to myself, these kids don't do good work for 7th graders or 8th graders. They simply do good work. And that is really one of the key things that I see happening here at the Waldorf School, which is why I love it so much.
I think the thing that makes a Waldorf classroom really unique is that the children are really seen and treated as individuals, and they're respected by their teacher, as well as they're expected to return that respect. And there's just an atmosphere of real wonder and reverence in a Waldorf classroom that is pretty special.
So the question for me with the curriculum is not when can a child understand something and then reproduce it on a test, but when will a child really relate with that material? When will it be relevant to them? When will it be contextual for them? And when will they be excited about it? That's what our curriculum does.